Hello, today we're going to be covering the vocabulary for algebraic expressions and equations. Make sure you have the foldable, a pencil, scissors, matte pencils, and your interactive notebook. Make sure your interactive notebook is titled as you see here. Make sure you put the page number, which is the next page, in your interactive notebook. Make sure you also date it with today's date. Okay, now what I want you to do is to take the sheet of paper that is your foldable, and you are going to fold it along the solid line right here. Fold it along this line, and you will fold it along the other solid line. Okay? Once you have it folded, then what I want you to do is take your scissors and you're going to cut it along these dotted lines that you see on your foldable. Okay, so you're going to cut it all the way down to the solid line, not all the way through. Just cut it down to the solid line and then stop. So once you have cut your paper along the dotted lines and folded it, your paper should look as you see above. Now what I'd like you to do is fold all of your pieces down and lift up the first two pieces. Underneath the first two pieces, I want you to write 3 in just as you see here. Now when you see 3 in, that is 3 times n. Since there is no operation in between the 3 and the n, that means they are to be multiplied. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different parts to an expression and or equation or inequality. The first number that we wrote down was 3, and that number was beside a variable n. The 3 is called a coefficient. That number is the number that is going to be multiplied by the variable. Make sure you write that definition down as you see at the bottom of the paper. Next we have the variable, and the variable is an unknown number represented by a letter, and it can be any letter in the alphabet. Make sure you have the definition above copied on to your foldable. Please make sure that your paper looks like mine, and of course I haven't glued it down yet. It just says variable at the top and gives the definition at the bottom, and make sure you have that definition underneath the variable. Okay, so the next part of the expression is the operation. Okay, so the operation is what comes next, and that is going to be either add or subtract. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the constant, and the constant is the value or the number that stands alone. Okay, please make sure that you have everything that I have written down on my foldable on your foldable. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the sign. Is it the equal sign? Is it the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to? So that's what comes next in your equation. And last but not least, on the last flap would be 19, which is the answer. So make sure you have everything down there that I have on my screen. Okay, down at the very bottom of your paper where you have this line right here, underneath that I want you to write the two definitions that I have, which is algebraic expression, a mathematical phrase that includes coefficient, variable, operation, and a constant. Then the last one is an algebraic equation, a mathematical sentence that compares two expressions. Make sure that you have that written down. Okay, so where you wrote your definition for algebraic expression and algebraic equation, I want you to fold that flap up, and all of the flaps that you had above your equation that we defined, I want you to fold down and I want you to write exactly what you see here on my foldable. So the next thing I want you to notice is how I wrote algebraic expression under 3n plus or minus 4 when it doesn't have an equal sign or an inequality. That means that it's just an expression. When it includes the expression plus an inequality, which is an equal sign, less than, greater than, or equal to sign, then plus an answer, that is an algebraic equation or inequality. Make sure that you have all of this written down. The next thing you're going to do is to put it in your interactive notebook on the page that you labeled algebraic expressions and equations vocabulary.